I'm an electrical god, brah. Alright guys, welcome to another video. So today I'm going to be working on my Ford Ranger, and what it is I'm going to do is I've got stock lights and I've got some new lights. So there's a couple of videos online about this, but I didn't think there's sort of different opinions. Now I've got a body kit on mine. My car's a bit older, so some of these aren't going to be easy to get out. I've got a spotlight on the front, so the whole purpose of this video really is to sort of show you if it goes wrong, or it will go wrong because it's me doing it. So, but yeah, so hopefully these will look good and hopefully they'll be pretty easy. Let's get to it. So right guys, the first thing I want to do is get rid of this guard here, and it's just 5 clips. They're all different ones because yeah, they've been off obviously a few times, so this should be quite interesting. But yeah, I'll get these off and we'll see what's underneath. Just a quick tip guys, because I'm forever losing nuts and bolts. I don't know about you guys, but I know it's a magnetic one, but anything you take off, just put somewhere safe, because knowing me, what I'll do is I'll put it up there somewhere and it'll fall in there and then I'll never find it again. So just a little bit of advice, bit of a tip, I hope it helps. So to get this grill off, there's a 10mm there, 10mm there, which I've removed. And then those that haven't seen it, if you look just down there, I use that as a reference point, just on your frame there. And there's a 10mm there, and the same on the other side, use that as a reference point. 10mm down there, and that should better remove this. I've got these lights wired up, so I had to just disconnect them, but I mean, you might not have them, you might have something different, but hopefully that should be it now. Okay, as you've seen from the time lapse here, that was pretty straightforward, to be honest. I mean, this hasn't been off in a long time. But yeah, so next is the bumper. Now, this is where it could get a bit, because I've got like a light bar fitted there, so I don't, ideally, I mean, the light bar's cack anyway, but I've seen that you can, there's an 8mm bolt there. You can sort of loosen it to get access to the side bolts for this. Now, you'll have to bear with me because it's just started to rain, champion. You'll have to bear with me because I'm not sure, so we will see. So I'll let you know what worked and I'll show you where it works, but I might struggle with this for a bit, so I'll keep you posted. Absolute nightmare. So first things first, to try and get the whole bumper off, I ended up snapping one of them, so I'll have to re-drill and tap, but because it's been on there a while, it's an absolute nightmare. So I've managed to undo them both, the bumper that is, got it to a point where I can at least remove the lights. Jesus. And now I'm just untangling what is the headlights for this, because there's some crazy aftermarket stuff that's been put on this, and I'm just trying to fathom out where it all goes. So this was the original feed for the bumper lights, not the bumper lights, the grille lights, and every time you indicated to go right, they'd go off because the daytime running light goes off. So I'm just trying to sort of figure that out. And yeah, so as you've probably seen from the time lapse, I've been struggling, but I haven't taken any of these out yet. So you've got 2 10mm, a screw, there's a T30 down here, and then there is one just on this side, just there, and that's enough to get the headlight out. So you don't need to necessarily remove the whole bumper, although I have, but it's sat on what was my spotlight, so it's going to be fun putting this back together, that's for sure. But yeah, I'll keep you updated once I get this off and put the new one in. Right guys, so after an absolute and I mean nightmare, trying to sort these out. I even relied on my next door neighbour to come and help me, because anyone that's worked with Ford or on modern cars, that fact, trying to get the connections when they've been in there a while, it's that struggle between them being like they're just going to crumble away in your hands, or they're holding on for dear life. So unfortunately I didn't film it because it was just a nightmare. But basically, as you can see, I mean, the new lights come with a mass amount of lights, mass amount of wires. And it is literally, if I show you on the old one, I'll show you the connections, because they were a pain in the butt. So on the OEM ones, you have one here, which is your main light power. And if you can see just at the bottom, that's where the clip is. And this is basically the space you've got to get in there, and it was just in there. And then the indicator bulb, which comes out separately, where is it? Here. So the best way to do this is to just, comes out that way, is just twist it out, and then it comes attached with your indicator bulb. And then again here, let me see, that's focus, that's your little clip there at the top where my thumb is. And trying to pull that out, nightmare. The only one that was actually pretty decent is this one here. That was just straight in and out on both of them. But yeah, real nightmare to get them done. So nothing's attached yet as such, so I've just plugged it in. I just want to test it, you know, because I don't want to start bolting everything all the way back up now and then find out that it's not working. So what I'll do is I'll try and find the keys. There they are. And we know that they work because, well, we're hoping. Hey, I'll do that again. Hey. So what I'll do then is I'll show you before with the lights, well, what they look like, not with them running. So you can see that now. And then this is obviously after. So you've got your sequential indicators. And then if I go into the car, just bear with me, I'll keep you on cam. I'll do some magic editing later. He says. So if I turn the ignition on now, with these ones, these are the cheaper, and they're still not cheap at over £600. So let me just get the ignition on. That's on. So when that come on, or when they come on, so that's what we get now. So you get your Mustang tri-bars. I went for the cheaper one purely because they're black. Yeah, I prefer black because obviously my truck's black. I'm not a big chrome fan, so it was a choice thing, not a cost thing, but still over £600. But yeah, they come on, they look great. And then I'll put the hazards on, and you can see, now they come with Osram LED H11 bulbs with the kit. So if I'll put the hazards on. Ooh. So, so there you go. They look pretty cool, but absolute nightmare for the wiring for older vehicles. Now it's just a case of lining everything back up. Make sure when you do this bit down here, now I didn't have to take the bumper fully off, but there is a bolt sits just in there in that hole. Ooh. Let me turn the lights off. Right, so as I was saying, there's a bolt, so there is a locating pin as well. If I just point down to it, there's a locating pin. And then your bolt sits in there, but it doesn't seem to capture. It's a 10mm bolt, so I may have to leave that out. Now, that screws in there, you've got a bolt there, and then another 10mm bolt there, which I showed you before. And then the torque screw, which goes in there, and then it's held on with the bumper slides in there, and then it's held on with a catch. So, do I really need that down here? Possibly not, but I'll keep trying to fit it and see how it looks. So what I'll do now is I'll time lapse it going back together, and hopefully I won't snap any more bolts or break anything, but we'll see. So hopefully, yeah, we'll see the finished product. Oh yeah, guys, before I put this all on, make sure, good tip, another good tip, buy a box of these off Amazon, a few quid or a few dollars or whatever, buy them, because I have broken so many of these trying to get them out. There's one, there's another one, all, oh sorry, that's the bonnet one, but they've all snapped, all sorts of stuff, trying to pull them out. You know, I'm using the right tools and everything for it, pry tools and all this sort of stuff, but they just don't last long. So if you get hold of them, ideal. Just a quick tip. Right guys, so that's it finished. All buttoned back up. Everything's all wired back in, all tidied away with cable ties and electrical tape, so it all looks tidy in there. Not as easy as I thought it was going to be, but they look really good actually, in all fairness. So I'll show you what they look like now that they're on. I'll put the hazards on and all that sort of stuff, and as you can see, the hazards look sweet. The DRLs look really good. The whole thing looks really good, to be fair. Just adds that extra dimension, and I say cheap, I mean, you can't really see on that one. Let's have a look at this one. Can't really see on camera, but all these are black, so it really sort of suits my truck. Now, they are the cheaper option, but I'll leave a link where I got them from. The company that I dealt with were really, really good, actually. I will leave a link to them down in the description where I got them from. Really helpful guys. I thought I had a bit of a problem with them, so I rang them up. They're like, all right, try this, try that, try this, try that. Turns out it was just me being an idiot. I plugged the wrong thing in, but hey ho, it is what it is.
A few moments later.
Well, it's pitch black, as you can see. So the very beginning bit where I said I'm an electrical god, basically everything went back together perfectly well, and it was all good, and I went out for a drive to test it, but I noticed as I indicated to the left, the indicator inside on the dash was flashing really, really quickly. So I spoke to the guys who sold it. Apparently it's quite a common problem, but I didn't know anything about it, so I'll tell you what it is. Basically, when you plug in the indicator, or the dynamic indicator, it's got two pins, a red and black wire to the LEDs. Now, they can basically, if you don't get it right, it'll push the pins back out on themselves. So it will connect, but it'll only connect on one wire. Because in there, the red one is permanently soldered in, and the black one sort of like, it sort of sits on it. So I'll put up a picture now of where it was missing, but basically I had to sort of take the indicator out, find the black wire, sort of thread it back through, then pull it so it sort of seated itself, and then plug it in. Then when it was all plugged in together, I then sort of, when I pushed the light in, I made sure that all the wiring was good, and then I fed it into the LED. Bit of a pain, but just to be aware, apparently it is quite common, so just be aware, be very, very careful when you put these. And like I say, I tested them, but I didn't obviously drive the car, and it was only when I was driving that I noticed when I indicated to the left. It could have been the right, it was just my luck, but just one to be aware of, guys. So before you put everything back together, please test every single sort of iteration of it. But that's lesson learnt, so hopefully it helps. Thanks for watching. Hopefully the edit will come out all right, but there's a lot of higgledy-piggledy in this. So, but yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Catch you in the next one. Ta-ra.